Hi everyone, my name is Sunxeke and I am the owner and maker of Glitter with Sunxeke. If you like the content that you're seeing, please like, subscribe, and share. You can also connect with me by Facebook, Instagram, and email. Hey guys, today we are going to be making this vinyl on vinyl glitter epoxy tumbler. This one's a relatively easy cup to make, so if you have a craft fair coming up or if you have a lot of orders that you need to get done really quickly, I would highly recommend this technique. It turned out really cute. I love it, and follow along and see if you want to make it too. I am starting off with this full sheet of vinyl, and I will try to link it below. I am putting my cup on top of my vinyl, and I'm just measuring out my vinyl so that I can make it, number one, easier for me to work with when I'm doing the full wrap on this cup, but also saving as much of this vinyl as I possibly can. I don't know what I will do with the remaining amount of vinyl that I have left over, but I always like to try to save as much vinyl as possible while doing a full wrap. So I'm just going to go ahead and I am going to cut off the excess vinyl that I don't need. I'm first going to take my scissors and cut off all of the white parts around the vinyl. The reason why I'm doing this is because I wasn't able to fit my vinyl into my paper cutter very well with this excess of white. So in order to make sure that I was cutting a straight line and to make sure that I was doing it right, I needed to make sure that my vinyl fit in my paper trimmer. And as you can see, I just cut off two sides and then it fit much better, and I was able to cut off the excess amount. Now that I have it cut, I am now going to take the other side and I am going to cut off that little white section that I left before. I am now going to take my cup and just wrap my vinyl around it just to kind of see which parts of the vinyl I want on my cup versus which parts I'm going to cut off, because there is quite a bit of excess that wraps around. So I am going to just see kind of which pieces I want on the cup and which pieces I want to leave off. The easiest way that I have found to do a full wrap is to draw a line with my marker onto my cup. This is the only way that I have made it so that I don't have to rewrap my cup 35,000 times in order for it to be straight. So you will kind of see that my hand slipped and I moved my line to not so straight. I just went over it again and I fixed the line. It doesn't matter that it's in permanent marker because this is a full wrap. No one's ever going to be able to see that there is a line on this cup. So if you're doing a semi-transparent wrap, or if you are not doing a wrap, if you're doing a wrap that you're going to be able to see this line, you're going to want to take away the line at some point, but in this case it doesn't matter, so I just keep it on there. So I am now measuring out and seeing which part of the vinyl again I want to wrap on my cup. So I am making sure that I am peeling it from the side of the things that I want to stay on my cup towards the end of the vinyl, which I will be cutting off at the end. So I'm just going to be taking my little weeding tool here and peeling up a little corner of the vinyl, and I I think I give up with the little pin weeding tool that I was using, and I went to go find my regular hook for whatever. Oh, I just went to the bottom, that's right. I could not get it to peel up from the top. So I'm taking about a half an inch-ish, and I am cutting away the backing of that vinyl. That way I can adhere the vinyl following the line that I made, and then I will be able to wrap the rest of the vinyl around without it sticking, so that I can make sure that I am lining this up correctly. Now, since this is such a geometrical pattern, if I was a little bit off and it was a little bit slanted, it really wouldn't matter for a couple of reasons. Number one, we're going to put a little bit of glitter on top of this. Another reason is we're going to add another layer of vinyl on top of this. So it really does not matter if you're perfect on this layer. So you are just going to, like we always do, take the vinyl and push it onto your tumbler as slowly as you need to, and working out all of those air bubbles, trying to push it on so that you don't have any air bubbles. But if you do, it's okay. You can just either push them out, or you can take your craft knife at the end and you can pop them. So I'm just going as slow as I need to, spreading this or pushing this vinyl all the way around the cup. So now I'm getting pretty close to the end of the cup. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my scissors and I am going to make an incredibly rough cut, because I know that I have already overlapped my vinyl at the starting point. And so as you can see, this was an incredibly rough cut. It doesn't need to be straight, because I am going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to put it on the line of where the two pieces of vinyl meet up, and I am going to cut along that tape. If you have a sturdier hand than I do, or if you have more confidence than I do, you can just use that seam and you can cut along it. I was just afraid that I was going to slip, or I was going to not cut in a perfectly straight line, and then I was going to have this super crooked seam, or some of the stainless steel was going to show through. So in order to make sure that I had as straight of line as possible, I just placed a little piece of painter's tape right along that seam, and I'm using that painter's tape as a guide to help me cut in a straight line. Once I am done cutting, I then remove the tape, and then I'm able to remove the vinyl as well. So now that I have all of that excess vinyl removed, I am going to wrap the excess vinyl around the bottom of the cup. I want the vinyl to be as seamless as possible. So I want it to wrap around the bottom of the cup, and I want it to just be a continuous pattern, like there is no stainless steel showing whatsoever. Now here in a moment, you're gonna see my regret of this cup. I cut the vinyl too close to the edge of the tumbler. So later in the video, you're gonna watch me put a piece of vinyl on top of the stainless steel where I cut too much of the vinyl off. My issue was that there was a lot of bunching at the bottom, and so I just wanted to kind of clean it up and cut off the excess, but I cut too much off. And so it was super, super bumpy, and it looked really, really, really terrible. And so then I had to go through and I had to kind of pivot my idea and make it work. So I ended up using some of the excess vinyl that I had to fix the bottom of the cup. But it turned out really well, and you'll see here in a minute, and I'll walk you through that. But I'm just going across the top rim of my cup, and I am cutting off the excess vinyl at the top of the cup. This is the easiest thing for me. I could have used my cup edging tool, but I had my knife right there. It just really seemed the easiest. I really wanted a very, very, very thin layer of stainless steel to show. So I really didn't want to use my cup edging tool because I thought that that was going to cut my vinyl too much. And I just wanted the smallest little piece of stainless steel to show. I did not want a big gap at the top of the cup. All right, so as you guys can see, it is like super, super, super bumpy down here. I really made a big mistake. I don't know what I did wrong. If you could help me out and tell me how to make this part better and easier, I would really love to hear your feedback. So comment below about how you finish off the bottom of your tumblers when you really want it seamless. Again, it ended up turning out just fine, probably because of luck, but it was really bumpy, and I had some trouble with the vinyl lifting at the bottom because I cut it so short. So it really didn't go the way that I planned, but it ended up working out. So I'm going to take this Nicole Merritt Original Primrose Extra Fine Glitter, and I'm going to just add a little smidge, not much at all, a very, very small amount to my epoxy. I wanted this cup to have just a little bit of glitter, but I didn't want the glitter to overtake the cup. So I just wanted a very, very small amount of glitter so that you could see sparkle and you could see shine, but it didn't cover up my pattern vinyl. Add a little bit more, add a little bit less. Either way, it'll turn out really pretty, but this was kind of the goal that I was going for. So I just took my epoxy and I spread it all over the cup, including the bottom, and I let it spin on my turner overnight, and then I came back and I did the next steps. So if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do that right now while you're watching me work on this tumbler. I would really appreciate it. I'm super excited that people keep coming back to watch these videos, and I just want that content to keep going out to new people. So if you wouldn't mind, hit that subscribe button for me. And also, if you are already subscribed, will you hit that thumbs up? If you are just now subscribing, go ahead and hit that thumbs up too. Thanks, guys. So this was the solution that I came up with for the bottom. I noticed that I had a piece that lined up pretty perfectly with the line that was already there. So what I'm doing is I am lining it up, and then I am taking my Sharpie, and very carefully so that I don't get Sharpie on my cup, I am just kind of tracing around my vinyl, and then I'm going to use my scissors to cut out this vinyl so that it fits on the cup. As you can see, I'm kind of trying to figure out, making sure that it fits before I cut the vinyl, but this was kind of the solution that I came up with. It's not perfect because I couldn't come up with a perfect circle with the amount of vinyl that I had left over, but it's what I had, so it's what I worked with, and again, I think it turned out really well. I just kind of panicked a little bit because as of right now, this bottom looks terrible. And so I was like, well, it's only up from here. It cannot look worse than it does right now. So let's put this piece of vinyl on there and hopefully this works out. And if it doesn't, again, it can't look any worse than it does right in this moment. So as I'm pushing down this vinyl, I'm thinking, ooh, this may not have been the right solution, but it's what I got going. So I'm just taking my little craft knife and I am going around the edges and I'm just kind of cleaning up the excess. You can see that it is really, really, really bumpy. I probably should have put another layer of epoxy on this before I put this little fix down on it, but you live and you learn, and it actually ended up turning out just fine. Here in a moment, I'm going to put it back on the turner for its final couple layers of epoxy, and once I put the final layers of epoxy on, you literally could not tell that it was so janky looking during the process of making it. As you can see, I had some pretty big air bubbles down there at the bottom, so I just took my craft knife and I slit the vinyl a little bit and I pushed all that air out, and I had no issues with it lifting or epoxy getting in there. It really turned out just fine, no issues whatsoever. So here's the vinyl on vinyl part of this tumbler. I am trying my best to use up the things that I already have in my craft room. So I had this little sheet of leopard print vinyl from oh my gosh, I just went blank. From oh, it'll come to me in a minute. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. But I had this little piece of vinyl, and I was like, yeah, let's try to put it on here. Let's see how this works. The Glitter Chimp, that's where it's from. This vinyl is from the Glitter Chimp. So I just am wrapping it around, and you'll notice that I have kind of a chunk down there that's missing. And so you'll see here in a moment how I fix that piece. But like I was saying before, I am trying to use up what I have in my craft room. And so I saw this little piece of vinyl and I was like, I think this actually might look really good on this cup. The prints are completely and totally different, and they probably shouldn't go together, but they look really cute together. So I decided to put this on top of this kind of geometric vinyl that I have on the cup. I am doing my best to go as slow as I can so that I don't get any air bubbles in this semi-transparent vinyl. And then once I get around to the edge, I'm going to cut off the excess. So I'm pretty close to the edge. I'm just kind of trying to get it as close as I can without it too much overlapping. And then I am going to take my craft knife, my scissors, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut off the excess from the tumbler. So I am peeling back the part that is overlapping and making sure that I have it nice and tight. I am then going to cut around these little leopard prints or cheetah prints, whatever they are, and I am cutting around it so that you can't see overlapping print. Since it is transparent vinyl, if you put if I put this spot over the other spot, you could see that those spots are on top of each other. And so that's what I was trying to avoid here. I'm just taking my craft knife and I'm kind of cutting around the edges so that there's no overlapping of spots. All right, so you see that ginormous gaping hole where there is no print? This is where I go through and I am fixing it. I am taking the pieces that I cut off and I am just going to put them one on one anywhere that I feel like there needs to be a spot, wherever it fits really nicely, and I'm just gonna hand place it. So I'm taking the excess that I cut off earlier and I'm just gonna cut off 1, 2, sometimes even 3 together, and I am going to just hand place them where I think these spots should go. I kind of wish that I went further up the cup and further down the cup, but I just unfortunately didn't have enough of the vinyl to do that. So you're going to see that there's probably about 1 inch at the top and 1 inch at the bottom that does not have the top vinyl on it. I do wish that I had more of this vinyl so that it would have gone all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom, but I just didn't have it, so I couldn't do it, and that's okay. Again, I'm trying to use up what I have, and I wasn't going to buy something extra for 1 inch to 1.5 inches. Hey you guys, have you liked this video yet? Have you subscribed to my channel yet? If the answer is to no to either or both of those questions, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. So once I was happy with the way the printed vinyl looked, I went ahead and I put this on the turner and I put a layer of epoxy on it, let that fully cure. I did a quick sanding and cleaning up the rim, and then I put a final layer of epoxy on it, and this tumbler is finished. Like I said, a very easy one, but also a very cute looking one as well. And here is the final design. I think it turned out so cute. I am really in love with it. And again, if you need a relatively easy and simple design to do for a gift or for a craft fair or something, this is perfect for it. Well, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Come back next week for another video. See you then. Bye. You can connect with me on social media with Facebook and Instagram, and you can also send me an email. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. But now it's time for you to watch the video that's suggested for you on the screen. Have a great day. Bye.